Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Majo to Yajuu, episode 11, the penultimate one. Yes, indeed. I have to check every single show I'm watching whether it's truly the penultimate episode or not, because so many shows this time around seem to have 13 episodes or 25, and I can never rely on multiplies of 12 being the finales. So, yeah, this time around it checks out though. Episode 12 is the finale of the show, and today is episode 11. In the previous episode, let's maybe start with that. In the previous episode, Ashaf took Helga, or wanted to take Helga at least, to the organization to, I don't know, fully incorporate her into it, right? Have her sign the legal or magical paperwork or whatever, introduce herself to her co-workers, etc., etc., etc. And I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't excited for us to finally get to the organization. Alas, it wasn't meant to be, because Guido, of course, got herself into trouble. Ashaf truly believed that such a tiny little backwater town where nothing ever happens would be free from witches. Unfortunately, the Origin Witch thought the same. So Guido was notified of her presence, or of the presence of a witch. That was a false call, of course. It turned out to just have been a regular herbalist, and one of the kids turned out to be a witch, the Origin Witch, no less. Before that reveal, though, Guido and the kids were ambushed by the executioner, the partner of the one who Kuga took with him to do whatever with. And he had a cape with like a pocket dimension and got everybody inside and started questioning Guido about whereabouts of his partner. Guido, of course, didn't say much about it. Didn't manage to say much about it because very soon the Origin Witch have arrived, wearing a similar cloak on a timer, so not a perfect copy, but still a close copy of a forbidden instrument or whatever they're called. She had no problem dispatching the executioner, getting his cloak, and having a nice heart-to-heart with Guido. Guido, who was much stronger than the executioner expected, but not much stronger than what the Origin Witch knew her to be, because Guido resides currently in the Origin Witch's body. Yeah, one of her spares, I would assume. I assume she's body hopping. That's kind of the vibe here. That's what we are led to believe. And Guido, yeah, has one of her spare bodies. And I'm still not sure entirely why the Origin Witch arrived there. I guess it was just to taunt Guido. I guess it was just to tell her that, hey, we're gonna meet when I also want us to meet. Because we're bound by fate, and when both sides really wanna meet, the fate will make them meet. And I'm gonna leave, traces and signs every here and there, and if you follow them, hell, you might find me one day. And she really seems to be treating it as a game, and wants Guido to play with her. That's basically the vibe I'm getting here. She's ancient, she's immortal, and she just wants some good old fun. For her. Not for anyone else who's involved in her plays, though, which is unfortunate. Thankfully, Ashaf and Helga arrive, rescue Guido. Then again, Guido got into those trouble because she was not fully healed by Ashaf. And she made sure to tell him about it and voice and show her displeasure. They got into a little bit of a scuffle. She broke a couple of his ribs and fractured his spleen or whatever. And, but then, let bygones be bygones. Ashaf explained himself that everything I'm doing for, for your benefit. I'm not doing anything that would hurt you, which I find I guess it could be explained by just what's the law? Not Occam's razor. Something's razor, I think. That which can be explained by incompetence. No, incompetence should be assumed over malice. Something like that, right? When someone does something stupid, first you should assume that they're just simply incompetent. Then only you should assume that they're malicious, not the other way around. So perhaps it was simply a lapse in judgment in Ashav. He genuinely did not think that there will be any witches around, and he wanted to slightly cripple Guido so that she doesn't run off and get herself into trouble. Unfortunately, yeah, the witch was there. It seems like the air is cleared between them now for the most part. You can't really speak much of trust, I don't think, but at least they like, as Ashav put it, Guido knows it in her head, doesn't trust him, doesn't believe him, but knows like consciously on a mind level that she probably should do what Ashav says because their interests align. That's basically it, I guess. And that's where we ended, in the building with Ashav and Guido, Ashav recuperating, and Guido sitting on a broken bed, which kind of sounds like they did something else than argue. But yeah, that's where we are at. And what the last two episodes bring us, I don't know. Honestly, anybody's guess. I think Fanora might be like involved in it. I don't quote me on that though. She might be. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in this episode, of course. And to do that, to watch it, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 11 of Majo to Yajuu in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, bit of a recap. Exactly what I said. Just understand that with your head. And the opening. Which also gives me a chance to tell you real quick about the seasonal stream that will be happening in tomorrow, I think, actually. Yeah, tomorrow. It's like on the channel, so go there. There's a whole like thing set up. There's an event set up on the Discord. So if you want to take a look with me at the next season's shows, and I know you want to see ahead of time what I'm going to be watching, you can do that and join me on the stream. It's usually between 2 and 4 hours long, depending on how stacked the season is. And of course, it's seasonal, so it's like every season. I genuinely have very little idea of what the shows of this season will be. I just know that there's going to be plenty of sequels. And that's basically all I know. Yeah, we don't see anybody here who we wouldn't have seen. So I really wonder what the two final episodes will be, because meeting the Origin Witch, I mean, that seems like a good finale for this show, doesn't it? And yet it wasn't. So I wonder. Yare yare. Oh, right. How they met, right? We're gonna see a flashback episode. At least this one. Maybe both will be flashback episodes. Eloquence and Silence opening act. Yeah. Global Holy Church. So is the church the source of magic? And the further you are from the church, the less magic you have? Interesting. The kid mentioned a coffin, but Shav doesn't have a coffin with him. So could it be that it was Guido carrying her old body with her? Yeah, certainly the work of a witch. It's her, isn't it? Hello, Guido. Yep, she was carrying her old body. And his witch senses are tingling. Stinging nettle? What are you on about? And what tells you that this kid is a witch? And who are you? You can't really call that livestock, can you? Yeah, pieces of livestock. Probably not. Guido could. Maybe. How can you tell that they're witches? Hmm. So, kinda like Helga? Or can you like be a witch but be completely like benign? Witch detecting spell? Oh no, just mind control. Just Axie. Hmm. Spreading some good in the world. As it should. a mere first-rate mage. Well, at least as compared to Guido. Yes, very much so. Hello, Guido. What trouble are you gonna get yourself into? Oh, those two are dead. Or close to. No, no, dead. Dead, dead. Witch! Punch witch! She truly is a beast, isn't she? Not a thought in there, not a single thought. Killing a witch. Probably not. But of course she takes it as a yes. And what would that be? The girl's magic or something that Ashaf summoned? Yeah, she probably summoned it unknowingly. And as the rumors spread, yeah, she's a witch, burn the witch. Of course. I assume this is the culprit. Probably. Yeah, I was about to say maybe the mother or the father, but no, yeah. Orphans, of course. Oh, could that have been the mayor? An herbalist, basically. How idyllic. Oh, okay, he managed to restrain her after all. How? Yeah, she's simply that strong. It's a witch's body after all, right? She's not a human. Maybe on. No, not even on the inside. Assuming that her real body is the hulking beast. Yeah, basically. Oh, she's mute? Interesting. Hmm. Can't be like a price to pay for their magic, unless it's the price to pay for the protection of the like monster thing. Maybe. Mm-hmm. Like a tattoo, for example. Yeah. Just waterboarding her with tea. Delicious, isn't it? Or was it like a stupor spell? Witches, notably. Or certain witches. Mm-hmm. Right. That's why she has no magic. Maybe like she has magic, but she just can't utilize it, right? Because she can't speak. Hmm. Interesting. But it might have been someone else trying to frame her. Mm-hmm. Or a familiar that she doesn't know about, kind of like, I don't know, Ashgan, for example. No, actually, I think people are already ready to burn her at the stake. I don't think they need any more things to happen. Yeah, minor. Flesh scattered around the place, minor incident. Oh, you know magic? Or your father does. Perhaps for a reason. A beast and a witch, one could even say. Yeah, you're gonna have a place at the organization, you're gonna be protected. How could she say no to a face like that? Surprisingly dark inside. And that's the dude we've seen from the in front of the window of the, the hair. Do they have this sort of bag for tea everywhere? Like, anywhere I go, and to buy myself like a bag of tea, like, you know, not like bagged tea, but to a tea place to get some loose tea. It's packed in exact this looking bag. Different colors maybe, but the general, like, you know, shape and the etiquette are the same. I mean, things will probably not get worse, at least. Yeah, but you're not used to having enemies that have seen your sister use magic in a time when cows start falling from the sky. Right? Like, it's different to have enemies who have absolutely nothing on you, and it's different to have enemies that have like a legitimate concern. You know, however fabricated it might be, it is legitimate. So yeah, it's gonna be a problem. I hope they live until tomorrow, honestly. Okay. She's an herbalist. She recognized it. Uh, okay. Cursed into being mute? Hmm. Yeah. Perhaps also cursed by the Origin Witch. She didn't want competition. Mm-hmm. Okay. Things are falling into place now. And that's when Guido learns about the third way. Okay, so probably not the girl then. Yeah, and now there is nobody to placate the crowd, there is nobody to protect her. She was under. Yeah, and the expert witch hunter is probably the witch. Or someone else, executioner. 100%. Of course. Just shoot the kid, why don't you? uh, I mean, he was correct, but still. Uh, I guess executioners can be very young kids. And you should probably lock your door next time. If there's gonna be a next time, of course, because if Ashaf doesn't make it in time, you're probably dead. Scream? No, she's oblivious. I guess Guido will be of help here. Probably. Ashaf is injured. Both executioners are roaming free. Have Guido help Ashaf. Then have her and Ashaf save the kids. Or at least the one kid that will survive, hopefully. That's still not a given. The brother could be used for a bargaining chip and thus kept alive. Or he could just be killed as an accomplice of the witch. Either is plausible, honestly. Okay, that's a nice episode. And we're in for a nice arc that will end in the next episode. Unfortunately. But yeah, I've been kind of wanting stuff like that. Episodes like that from this show, where it's just case of the week. Basically, this is basically the case, right? We have witches, we have a monster, something mysterious happening, we have to figure out what's going on. Good shit. And also the final act of the season. Let's watch this episode again, shall we? Yes, we shall. Out of curiosity, let me check right quick. Is there a word about season 2, maybe? Yeah, I don't think there is. Although maybe. Nope. Not as far as I can tell. Maybe with the finale. If they are gonna announce the second season, it will be in the finale. So hopefully. Recap and the opening. And a flashback. They have such nice vistas in this show, honestly. Like, I just want to go there. I just want to live in this world. I just want to have a cottage on the hillside and live off of making tea from forest herbs, you know? I just want to be there. Now, sure, I would risk getting, gored by a witch. That's a risk I'm willing to take. If I get, view like that from the window. Being so far from the global holy church's headquarters on the first continent, this place hasn't developed a magical civilization. A remote, utterly unmagical village in an ordinary, utterly non-magical country. Is magic really, honestly, no cap tied to the church? Magic is tied to the global church. It's the source of magic. The further from it, the less powerful and common magic is. I wonder, that would be... I mean, the first thing he said, right? Being so far from the church, this place hasn't developed a magical civilization, right? My thoughts were still at, okay, so the magic around here is wild, right? They don't have the taxonomy of magic users. You're just a magic user. They don't divide people into witches, mages, whatever else, right? They don't discern between low necromancy and high necromancy. They don't have words like pyromancy, stuff like that. The magic is just, folk magic, like folk magic from Frieren. They use it, not really understanding how it works, not really understanding the principles of it. It just works. They don't have the civilization built around it, organizations, peacekeepers of various sorts, etc., etc. But no, this line tells me that magic is legitimately tied to the church. Because it's not that this place, this village, this country has magic running wild. No, it's that it's unmagical. No magic here. Interesting. Interesting why. I really want to know more about the world here. I really want to see some world building. Hopefully we'll be given a chance to do that. It also reminded me of a world I created for one of the novels that I never wrote, which is plenty, where the source of magic was a spire that an ancient civilization just built, pierced the earth's crust with it, and it's, mana is flowing underneath the earth's crust, and nobody has access to it, but some people pierced it with the building, and now magic spreads from it. The closer you are, the more magic. The further you are, the less magic. It's kind of like this with the church, maybe. I know, that's the vibe I'm getting. A coffin. This is a very nice little bit of environmental storytelling, almost, you could say. We associate Ashaf with the coffin. Ashaf is the one who has the coffin, right? Ashaf is the one who keeps Guido's old body inside of the coffin and who stuffs witches' bodies there to transport them to the organization, right? It's his tool. We associate the coffin with him. So, initially, before the kid appears, what are my thoughts? Well, of course, Ashaf doesn't have his coffin with him because he has no need for it. There's no Guido. He doesn't need to carry any bodies around anywhere, so he doesn't have it. Perhaps he only gets it over time. He meets Guido. Guido stores her old body in a closet somewhere or just lugs it around in a bag. And he gets this tool, this magical tool from the organization to make carrying around the body easier. Something like that. That was my theory here. But then the kid says, hey, that was a coffin. And someone else has the coffin. Or maybe not. Maybe he just placed the coffin somewhere else, in like the baggage area above or something like that, and the kid noticed that. But then he's out, and he doesn't have a coffin. Oh shit. Right? And then... well, not here, but sometime in the future... yeah, here, Guido walks with the coffin, and we know that, yeah, she was the original carrier of the coffin, and what happened that it's not her carrying it around now, but Ashaf, right? A way of limiting her, of course, keeping her from using her original body to the point where she can only use it when Ashaf allows. Which, again, makes perfect sense here. Yeah, his danger senses are tingling. Absolutely. And yeah, my initial suspicion that one of them is the witch is perfectly correct, turns out. And not the witch responsible for whatever was going on there. And what is that? This really looks like stinging nettle. Some potatoes, couple of cans of tuna or whatever, and stinging nettle for some reason. Or maybe some other herb. An orange, some other veggies. Yeah, the only witch in the area. Who else could have done this? Ideas like that belong in the past. Livestock fell from the sky. Wasn't it... it was fish, I think? Or maybe even livestock. There was like a real, actual incident where meat fell from the sky. I don't remember what exactly kind of meat it was, but something like that happened. I think fuck it. Cow meat from sky. Kentucky meat shower. Yep. 3rd of March, 1876. Chunks of red meat fell from the sky in a 100 by 50 yard area near Olympia Springs in Bath County, Kentucky. Yep. Exactly. Kentucky meat shower. I wonder if a witch was involved in that as well. And I also wonder... No, I actually don't wonder why. They are using the exact same method they used against Helga, aren't they? It's the exact same method. Paint the innocent witch to be the bad guy so that the people don't complain when you get rid of her. People even, support you and grab their torches and pitchforks and clap as you put her on the stake. Right? Because if they did that to an innocent witch, there would be uproar. People would be against it. Just like in the first episodes of this show, right? Ashraf and Guido, well, Guido mostly started fighting the witch, and people were like, no, why are you doing that? Call the police. Stop them. Stop her being rude to Lady Witch. Lady Witch helps us, right? But if you change people's sentiment ahead of time, they will gladly join you on the witch hunt. This is exactly the Executioner's playbook. Falwell Farmington can't cast a single spell. And yeah, simple mind control magic, making them do a good deed. This is an interesting shot. Really showing how they're getting away. I don't rightly know the full reason, full purpose of this shot, but it's a nice shot. First rate mage. And yeah, Guido doesn't like people who are rude to her, and I wonder if they're still alive. That's a lot of blood. Hopefully they are. Hopefully she doesn't catch some murder charges. And yeah, flesh and blood opponent. Completely non-magical as far as Ashraf can tell, and probably just completely non-magical. Right? Guido doesn't cast spells, no matter her form. So yeah, completely non-magical, as far as anybody is concerned. Just destroying his shields, going against the crow wind, almost punching through 3 layers of the same shield. She did recognize the mark, though. And then there is this thing. Interesting how Ashraf and the kids are immediately turned towards it. Send her flying. What's this thing? Yeah, my first thought was this thing. It's probably something that protects the girl. My first immediate thought. She cannot cast spells, but she has this thing protecting her. Perhaps that's what her lineage has. She doesn't inherit magical power. There's no magical power to inherit in her line, but she inherits this protector guy. And maybe the knowledge on how to use its strengths, has faded with years. Perhaps the first witch in her line was able to command it at will, but now that art has been lost, and she doesn't know how to. Maybe something like that. Second thought, the black-haired boy. I don't know why, he just looks like he would be a villain here, and what do you know? Or, villain. He looked like he would be the kid to bring a magic wand to school and tell those two to not come to school tomorrow, right? You know what I mean. He looks the part. And what do you know? I was correct in my assessment. People saw that, and we see this shady individual with a very characteristic hairstyle, drinking some tea. Yeah, plenty of dead giveaways to be able to tell that it is indeed the kids, the black-haired kids' father. Mayor's always been good to us, that's why he was targeted, right? The last straw. The witch was killing cows. It's like, whatever, sure, she's evil, she's malicious in that, but it's just cows ultimately. But then she killed a human, so they think. Not just any human, their benefactor, the only person willing to protect them, right? And yet they did it. Why? Why? She must be evil. That's why. Falwell uses plants from our garden and the mountain out back for dyeing and tea, and it's a hit. Really good, apparently, since even Ashaf can appreciate it. She can't use magic, but she says this is the part of the witch knowledge. Yeah, herbology. I really like, and it's the second time I noticed that. The first time was when Guido agreed to save Helga. This is the second time. I really like how Guido is not mindless. It would be just so easy to make her a completely mindless character, struggling against those restraints, trying to throw herself at the kid, not even listening to the voice of reason. But no, she knows that she can't break out of those restraints, so she sits quietly. She doesn't like to waste effort, and later, when it is explained that no, the kid can't use magic actually, and here is why, here's the facts and logic behind that, she understands it. Right? Well, okay, that witch might, she's probably not the one I'm looking for, but that just makes her useless. And she just doesn't want to kill the kid anymore, because she has no need to. I really like it. It would be so easy to actually make her a beast, actually make her a mindless beast, but no, she isn't. In the first moment, the first instinct, of course, is to throw herself at the witch, right? Witch equals kill. But then she notices, she sits and, yeah, it's not her. Not even body swapped. Oh well, whatever, I don't care anymore. It's simply that she usually doesn't spare the time to notice that she just sees witch and attacks. But she can be convinced. I like it. I really, really do that. I really, really do like that about Guido. You're tough enough to barely have a scratch. Yeah, not an ordinary human whatsoever. Under a witch's curse. Owent and Falwell. She can speak, no witch in their family. She's a descendant from like a mystic witch, right? That was the term that was used. I wonder if perhaps the like mystic witch and origin witch were quarreling with each other, and the origin witch said that, oh shit, well, the mystic witch is kind of too strong with her word magic, with her speech magic. I'ma silence her and all of her descendants. Origin witch silenced the mystic witch lineage to get rid of competition. Competition in like a general sense. Maybe she was afraid that the mystic witch would be able to do something to her, to kill her. Maybe she didn't want to share the magic, right? She wanted to be the only witch. Something like that. Whatever is the case, she just didn't want to. She just didn't want the mystic witch lineage to continue with magic. Person with magical energy casts spells by tracing runes. And you can either trace pre-existing runes, like ones you might have tattooed on your arm, or like ones you might have written on a piece of paper, or you can use magic itself to create those runes, write them down, and as you write them down, also trace them and create magic that way. Cool. Very cool system. Reminds me of... what does it remind me of, actually? Was it the 7 Spellblades that had this method of magic, where you would also have to trace magic in the air? Yeah, I think it might have been. Or some other show that I've seen. And magic might allow you to, you know, force feed someone with tea. She froze up? Yeah, probably because the tea was so good. Or because Ashaf poured some additional magic into it. Writing forms the basis of magic. Spellcasting relies on special letters called runes, but there are exceptions. Yeah, Falwell's bloodline, hailing from the mystic witch Luna Farmington, who was able to use invocation, speech. Yeah, mystic witch, so not origin witch, not the same. But Guido makes a good point. She's hoping bodies. No local spellcasters that we know of. Any outsiders? Him and his dad, half a year ago, they were in for the long con, weren't they? It would be immediately suspicious if they arrived into the city and started stirring shit immediately. So they arrived half a year in advance. And they established themselves here, made friends even with the witch, to scout the area, to know what the vulnerabilities are. Maybe that guy was particularly attached to his cows. So what do we target? His cows. If someone was particularly proud of their, I know, grain farm, they would have burned the grain farm. If the city had an ancient shrine to a forgotten deity or whatever, and it was a major tourist attraction, they would have blown up the shrine. Target the weakest points to raise discord among people. Yeah, good thinking. Very good thinking on the part of executioners. They really are Shroud, aren't they? And neither of us can do magic. And of course they help. They want to be close to the witch and her family. Bestial woman, mysterious mage, the villagers. And yeah, he really is suave, isn't he? I'm drinking Falwell's tea again. So good I can't help it. Good thing I got some more. Should keep us for a while. Falwell ought to start charging us already. They just talk as if nothing was wrong whatsoever. I find it interesting that even at home, they don't speak in because I assume that the second executioner is his father. They're an executioner duo, father and son. Not that the son just joined the executioners independently somehow. They don't drop their mask even inside of their house. I fully expected them to discuss their plans or something, but no. Apparently not. Can you imagine this hell ever ending? Yeah, if you go with Ashaf. Do you trust him? Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Unfortunately, a little bit too late. You should have said that you want to go with him early on, because he probably would be able to open up a door to the corridors and just bring you straight in there. Witch with no magic is just dead weight. Yeah, Guido really looks at witches in a very, how do I even say it, utilitarian way, maybe? No, not really. In that, if a witch is strong, she might be the witch who did it to me. If a witch is weak, then it's like whatever, just a pebble on the road, she doesn't matter. The worth of the witch to Guido is entirely in how possible it is that she was the one who cursed her. Cool, I like it. Yeah, what do you want her for? She's useless. Useless to me, useless to you, whatever. Completely changed her tune as soon as she was convinced. Yeah, she did react, which means that she might actually be cursed by the same witch, and that's my strong suspicion. Her voice is the source of her magic, generations losing her voices. Another witch got scared and sealed it away with a curse. And of course, he knows of the third way, which is a kiss, which breaks the curse only temporarily, granted, but still. His greatest benefactor. Expert witch hunter showed up. Led the villagers to Falwell's house, of course. Executioner. This is great. This is amazing. No hesitation. Just turned out and shot the kid, not even using any magic. I have my magic right there. Executioners work in pairs. How did you even connect the kid to being an executioner? And also, what's this wonky face you're showing us? You should have aimed for the head, Ashaf. Oh, he did. It's the monster that protected him. Probably a forbidden instrument of some sort, since the executioners don't use magic. Yeah, here's the mask. I fully expected a scream to happen or something, but no, she's just oblivious to what's going on, picking herbs and collecting tinder at the forest, and meanwhile her brother is probably being strewn across the entire place, bit by bit. I want to teach you what love is. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. Okay. That's the episode. It was good. I really enjoyed this episode. I really want more episodes like exactly like this. This is exactly what I want from this show. Like, sure, the overall overarching story, that's fine and all, but I really would like to have this show consist solely and exclusively of those two-parter, probably not much more than 2 parts, maybe 3-parter every now and then, but mostly 2-parter episodes where they arrive at the village, something's going on at the village, they have to solve the case, they solve the case, they board the train, go to another village. I know it might be formulaic. I know it might really feel formulaic, but I really like shows like that. Every now and then, right? Like, I really would not like it if every show was that. I wouldn't like if, I don't know, Frieren consisted entirely of going to next village, helping people of the village, going to next village, helping people of the village. It would get boring. But I really feel like this show in particular would really work well. And it's also my hope that it will be the case. If we get a second season, but also in the manga, my hope is that it's the case because the Origin Witch specifically told Guido that I'm gonna be leaving like traces, and if I want us to meet, we will meet. So Guido will not have any other choice but to investigate those like unusual events, because that might be a trace left by the Origin Witch. You don't know that. Maybe the, I don't know, what would be a report of a dog speaking human language. That's worth investigating. Maybe it was the witch who did it. Maybe she actually is inside of the body of that dog. We gotta go there, Ashaf. We gotta fucking go there. Check out that dog. Right? It's going to give her a drive to not only investigate anything that has to do with witches, but anything unusual. And this is my big hope, that we will have like 5 episodes or 5 arcs, 5 two-parters maybe, of just going to a village, figuring out that, oh no, the herbalist is actually just an herbalist. They're not a witch, they're not responsible for whatever is happening. Or going to a town and figuring out that, yeah, you actually have a magic rat problem in the sewers, and that's what eating your crops, or whatever. And then, every now and then, we see, oh, shit, yeah, that was actually her. That was actually her who turned the cows purple, and we have a trace of her, and we can follow in that direction, right? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. And it would be so cool if that's exactly what this series is. I can't tell because I haven't seen the source material, of course, but I would love it, love it, love it, love it if the anime went in that exact direction. Cool. Very good episode. We even got some world building that I wanted so much. We know more about the witches. We know more about the magic, how all of that works. We know a little bit of Ashraf's and Guido's past. We don't know everything. We don't know how exactly Guido got cursed. That's still a big mystery, but we know how they've met. And that's nice. That's nifty. I like it. I love Guido. I love Ashraf. I will keep repeating that all the time. I love their chemistry. I love them as individual characters. Yeah, very good episode. I enjoyed myself thoroughly. Hopefully the finale will be finale worthy, and hopefully it will arrive with the announcement of season 2. Yeah, as they say, hope dies last. If Sasaki to Pichan got a second season, I mean, right? This one should as well. Please tell me it will. Please tell me it will. I would be so freaking happy. But yeah, right now that's gonna be it, I guess, from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. No spoilers from the manga, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord, here also in the description below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos. Not only Majo to Yajuu, but also Metallic Rouge, Shangri-La Frontier, and Yuki Yuna is a Yusha, and others coming in the future because the next season is incoming, of course, very quickly. So click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I'm gonna be going live with the look at the next season. Of course, support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, and down below where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. And you can also support me directly on YouTube by memberships, super thanks, super chats. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB Without a Netic Survivor, Zayrainer, Absolute Nikiala, Ishtamu Marcos, and Dr. Watt, Akamasar Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to become an executioner or